I think the problem is assuming I was prepared, you know? I think the problem was that I thought after years of constantly watching terrible films that I was ready for this, and there is no being prepared.
Hey, Danny.
Where's my money, Danny?
Put the gun down.
What the hell is wrong with you? Just shut up.
Hey! Stop it out with this world!
The Room.
I've seen a lot of bad movies, and I think there is one defining difference here, and that's that normally, even when you watch a film and people are really, really bad at acting in it, like really bad at acting, and they're so not believable as their character, they're still normally, in most cases, believable as human beings. Not Tommy Wiseau. The Room stars Tommy Wiseau as Johnny, a banker who lives with his fiancée Lisa. His weird young friend Denny is also around, and one day, possibly because their sex is comprised of half-assed pillow fights and thrusting at what is clearly her hip, Lisa cheats on him with his best friend Mark and just starts saying the most awful, horrible shit behind his back. Like, it is brutal, like, consistently, and then she is so two-faced and tells him she loves him, and Tommy Wiseau is... So Johnny just starts to go through a kind of mental breakdown rapidly. It's kind of like a Nicolas Cage, almost, except... No, they do have a surprising number of things in common. But Lisa is just a continuing nightmare. She is awful. She goes to her mother, talks about how she doesn't love Johnny anymore, and is having sex with Mark. Goes to her friend and talks about how she doesn't love Johnny anymore and she's having sex with Mark. And everyone advises her not to do this, and she just keeps going, no, I'm in this for me and this is what I want. Fuck everybody else. But also she doesn't actually say any of this to Johnny at any point. Like... So the entire idea is awful. Tommy Wiseau is the worst actor, the number one worst actor I've ever seen. And Lisa is probably the number one worst human being character I have ever seen in anything, yeah. So there's nobody to root for, but that is so irrelevant because they focus mostly not on storytelling, but on sex scenes. No, seriously, yeah. There are 4 sex scenes, I believe, in the first half hour of this film. All of them are set to like sexy songs and do this full montage style for a sex scene. So at the half hour point, basically half of the film had been sex scenes, which are just really weirdly drawn out. And I had to pause. I mean, I'd paused a few times by then, just trying to struggle through. But I had to pause at the half hour point and just double, like triple check that I wasn't watching the porn parody of this film. But that's the thing about this film. It could be its own porn parody. And then after the kind of half-hour mark, they really switch out the sex scenes for countless scenes where they're just throwing a football around. So much, all the time. Sometimes with like really like weirdly exciting music set behind it, even though they're just passing it about like 5 feet from each other in a garden. Like it's... And then there's just other scenes, like Tommy going into a flower shop and this woman at the flower shop being like, oh, hey, Johnny, I didn't realize it was you. You're my favorite customer. Here you go, $18. Thanks, Johnny. See you later. Like, these scenes, some of them just move at the speed of light. The writing is nuts. It's jammed in there. Some of these scenes last less than 30 seconds, but they have fit hundreds of words worth of script in there. And it's just so... It's just so horrifying to watch. It's just so baffling to look at. Like, I had to... The worst films I watch normally... I have to pause maybe every 10 minutes just to get through it, just to survive the film. I could never watch more than like a couple of minutes of this at once. It took me about 6 hours to get through. It was a nightmare. It's the worst kind of speed running, some of these scenes. It's only 99 minutes long, but it feels like Lord of the Rings length in human years. Does that make sense? Yeah, I just had to constantly pause it. I was desperately clinging to life outside of this film. Just looking at the sun for a brief moment before slipping back into the shadowy realm of this film's clutches. It was just mortifying. I think of all the things about this that really just made me feel like I was being punished for something horrible I'd done in a past life. the worst was of all the like memes and clips and stuff that you've seen of this film before. You know, I'd seen a bunch of bits from this before, and like I kind of realized at a certain point, I think I've probably seen all the bits where I actually know, or I know what's going on, or I've seen anything from it. And there's still 50 minutes left of the film. That almost broke me. There is so much nothing after that. It's so irrelevant. It's so crazy. There are so many of the same scene essentially just jammed in over and over. I feel like I've finally gone insane. I'm giving arguably about the 6th worst thing I've ever seen half a star. I mean, they really trailed off in the second half, but I think there was at least about 7 total sex scenes in there if you count the one where he's just humping Lisa's dress. And every single one of them was the worst thing that had ever happened to me.